Hi guys, my name is Sadie and welcome back to my channel. I am in my kitchen here today in my professional Food Network studio to bring you some spooky Halloween bacon. One of my favorite things to do, whether it be Valentine's Day or Christmas time or Halloween, is to bake some sort of festive treat that I like to give to my family, to my friends, or to my students. And this year I have decided to make some monster cupcakes. So for the cupcakes themselves, I'm going to use my favorite chocolate cupcake recipe. This comes from Garten, otherwise known as the Barefoot Contessa. These are my favorite go-to cupcakes to make. They're super easy and it doesn't take that many ingredients. My plan for these cupcakes is to make just a normal chocolate cupcake, and then I'm going to frost them with different colored frosting. And I have some lovely candied eyes right here that I'm going to stick on my cupcakes as well after I've frosted them to make cute little monster faces, kind of like the ones right here. So these are the kinds of cupcakes that I'm going to be trying to emulate today. I have my oven preheating in the background. I can feel the heat coming from it now. So let's get started on making these cupcakes. Like I said, it's a super simple recipe with some minimal ingredients. Here are the things that you will need. 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 pound of butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 4 eggs, and 1 1/3 cup of Hershey syrup. The recipe also calls for a tablespoon of granulated coffee, but I just kind of leave that out and I still like how they taste anyways. Let's get to mixing in my beautiful Pioneer Woman bowl. No, this video is not sponsored by Food Network. Alright, let's get into mixing. Oh my gosh, my eggs are rolling away. So as I mentioned, this recipe is from Ina Garten? I'm not sure. The Barefoot Contessa. Her and her husband are such couple goals. Alright, so step 1, I am going to cream the butter and the sugar in this medium-sized bowl. And I'm getting 1 cup of sugar. 1/2 cup. Aren't my measuring cups so cute? Alright. There's butter in my hair. Just a little bit of butter in the hair. Okay, after making a big mess already after the first step, I'm gonna add my eggs in one at a time. 2 eggs, 3 eggs, and the final egg. Goodbye, Mr. Egg. Okay, in my beautiful blue bowl here, I have my eggs, butter, and sugar all mixed together. The next step is the most important step. All of the chocolate flavor in these cupcakes comes from just Hershey's chocolate syrup. That's what makes it so easy, is that you don't have to worry about melting chocolate or anything. All of the chocolate flavor comes from the syrup. Okay, so I need a shocking amount of this syrup. I need about 1 1/3 cups. Not about. I need exactly 1 1/3 cup. Because baking is a science and not an art. That's what I've heard. My recipe pulled up on my phone like a true professional. Ooh. Look at that chocolatey river. Hershey syrup always reminds me of making chocolate milk when I was a little kid. I believe the more you use your fingers as tools, the more professional you are. That's what I love about this recipe, is that the chocolate syrup makes it super quick and easy to make, and it doesn't taste like just chocolate syrup when you eat the cupcakes either. Because I know Hershey syrup kind of has that artificially-ish flavor to it, but it works really well in the cupcakes. I trust the Barefoot Contessa. Now I need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. My measuring spoons are also the Pioneer Woman. 1 tablespoon. Ooh. Okay, that definitely doesn't taste good. Get my weapon back out. I feel like every time I'm going in with the mixer, you get a nice under chin shot of me looking down at the bowl. Time to slowly, in a beautiful measuring cup again, this one has a handle, slowly, a little bit at a time, mix the flour in. start to get impatient at the end and start pouring it all in there. Ah. Another important thing with this recipe is to not overmix the flour or else they will be tough when you cook them. I can't resist. Alright, there's raw egg in that, I'll stop. Just so it doesn't make a mess on the counter. Do you like my festive towel? And you always gotta make sure that at the end you scrape the sides of your bowl so you're not missing any of those ingredients. Because who knows, some of your butter might be hiding here on the side and then it won't be in your mix. Alright, so now that the flour is just combined, that's it! Make sure you lick every kitchen tool after you're done using it. Okay, so time to pour these into the molds. I'm about to drop it. Okay. So I have 2 pans right here. And whenever I'm pouring something battery and something runny like this, battery? When I'm pouring a batter like this and it's runny and I don't want to make it too big of a mess, I like to put it in something with a little spout. And once again, the pioneer woman, I have this huge measuring jug that I'm going to pour the cupcake batter into and get these into the tins. Get the tins filled. Okay. This could be disastrous. Please go where I want you to go. Beautiful. And I'm filling them just over halfway. Since there's no real rising agent in these, they don't rise very much, so I like to fill them up a little higher than I normally would. But see, the spout makes it way easier than pouring it from just a bowl. Okay, time to move to the other tray. I feel like I'm at the chocolate factory or something. Like Augustus Gloop. I gotta go to take 18 beautiful little chocolate cupcakes ready to be sent. They're so beautiful, I'm so proud. Okay, time to stick these little buddies into the oven. Bye bye, have a good time. Festive. Alright, so while we're waiting for those to bake, it is time to make some buttercream frosting, which I will use to make the little faces in the fur of the monsters. So my philosophy when it comes to making buttercream frosting is just to throw some butter and sugar in a bowl and hope for the best. I'm gonna pour this in and I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract as well. Here we go. This is most definitely going to make a beautiful white cloud around me. Here it is. And I want to make sure that this... And there's your frosting! Let's see. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's not testing anything. I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator for a little bit while the cupcakes are still baking, so I make sure that this doesn't start melting. It still can hold a nice shape when we're piping it. So I will see you when I'm ready to decorate. Okay, as I've been waiting for the cupcakes to cook as well, I've colored my icing a little bit so I can have colorful monsters. Ta-da! And they are all baked. So I'm gonna let these cool down, and now that I have my icing colored, we will be ready to decorate. Okay, my little cupcake babies are all cooled, and the next step is decorating and frosting, which is definitely my favorite part. So what I have right here are my 2 piping bags. I've just stuck both of the frostings, both the different colors I have here, into 2 different sandwich bags. And how I'm gonna pipe with these is I'm just gonna snip a little part off the edge here, and that will give me a nice tip that I can do my best piping with. I'll invest in some piping materials sometimes, but for now, plastic bags will have to do the job. Okay, now I'm going to get piping the little fur hairs on my monsters. So what I'm going to do is, I have my piping bag with a triangle cut, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit And as it's coming out, I'm just gonna start piping some hairs on here in whichever direction, because monsters have crazy hair anyways. And I'm gonna cover the whole thing in frosting actually, so it's like ah! Okay, so I'm gonna go transfer this to a new bag and I will BRB. Ugh. So that my piping bag does not explode this time, I'm gonna cut the hole in the bottom just slightly bigger so the frosting can come out a little better. That might be too big, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that's more like it. So I'm just gonna pipe little crazy hairs all around it. It's up to artist interpretation. And that's how I make the monster's fur. And now I'm gonna add the fur to all of these monster faces, and then I'll get to decorating their eyes and their hair and all of their cute little features. Okay, this is starting to get a little too squishy, so I'm gonna stick it in the fridge and get out my pink frosting. Hopefully this one will not explode. I'm actually gonna snip it a little bit more, just so it really flows out. So now that I have the frosting pretty much laid on there, I'm just going in with a fork and going to town to just add some texture to really make it look like fur. I am not a professional baker by any means. I just love baking for fun. It's always fun to give someone a homemade treat, and it can be a really meaningful thing to know that you spent the time making this for someone. As you can see, my cupcakes have their fur now. And now I'm just gonna add those finishing touches of some eyes and some smiles. Time to go in with my favorite part, which is adding some candy eyes on there. And this is where they really start to come alive. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, let's do 2 eyes on this one. Let's make him a normal guy. Let's go 1 eye here. Let's do 3 eyes on this guy. Ooh, that's just fine. The decoration is always my favorite part of the bakes, because you can get as creative or not creative as you want. And voila! Like that, my monster Halloween cupcakes are complete. I know they are far from the finest pastries that you may see in a French patisserie, and yes, I did take that phrase from the Great British Baking Show, but I had a lot of fun making them, and I'm sure they taste really good as well. I know that because I've already eaten some of them, but this is how they turned out, and I'm really happy with them. And as I talked about before, my favorite part of baking is getting to share the things that I bake with the people that I love. I hope you take some inspiration from this video if you yourself are doing some spooky bakes this year. I know mine didn't really turn out so spooky. They're a little cutesier more than they are scary. Like I said, this chocolate cupcake recipe was super easy to make, and they taste really good in the end, which is the most important part, isn't it? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment down below. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already to stick around. I had a lot of fun baking with you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed. Now it is time to eat these cupcakes and give them to the ones that I love as well. Happy spooky baking to you! This kind of looks like the sludge from the Teletubbies.